Where did we go wrong? Isona leso ke Istimela kanti ke ngaphambi kwalo another track from Istimela mabethi bona ke look, listen and decide. Two tracks are back to back. Sesekulona nje leli ke ihora lesibili ke lohlelo lakho the Mid Morning Chat Show. That was our life after 10 yethu ke yanamhlanje. Impela ke sekushaya sona leso sikhathi la singena ke kuyona ingxoxo yethu with Nestlé for healthy kids with yena ke Marie De Beer la sokhuluma naye ke about tackling micronutrient nutrients deficiency. What are they and how do we make sure ukuthi your family is mind safe? Ilokho sobe sikhuluma ngakho namhlanje. If ever you have any questions now in terms of kulenkulumo esikhuluma ngayo namhlanje uzokwazi ukuthi ubuze imibuzo yakho uzosithinta ku 0119824495 noma 01191141 izona lezo nombolo zokwazi ukuthi uxhumene nathi ke kuzona. Alright, isikhathi ke lana sinje 17 minutes past 10 kulona ihora lesibili. Asivele nje ke singene kwingxoxo yethu naye ke Marie De Beer from yona ke Nestlé for healthy kids. Good morning, my dear.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm very good. I'm on time today, so I'm really happy to be with you today.
Thank you for making the time to talk to us, Marie. Now, today we are on episode 4 and we're tackling the micronutrients deficiency, and you're going to tell us more about it, what it is, and how to make sure as families we are mind safe. Am I correct?
Correct.
So, Marie, let's start here. What is the micronutrients deficiency?
Okay, so micronutrients to begin with is the nutrients that we need in very small amounts, but they are critical for our bodies. And these are mainly the vitamins and the minerals that we get in fruits and veggies, of course, some meat and some carbohydrates. But it's critical and the body cannot produce it by itself.
Okay.
When we don't have a variety of food, we actually lack these micronutrients. And eventually that causes a deficiency in the body. And that's why we are very concerned. They also call it hidden hunger because you don't see it until it's too late almost. So when you have iron deficiency, anemia, by example, or you have a shortage of vitamin C and the immune system doesn't work anymore or doesn't work so well anymore, then only do we realize we have a lack of certain of the micronutrients. So it's a very important part of our diet.
No, I hear you. Now, what is the role of this micronutrients in our bodies? Can you tell us?
So they play a role in every single cell. So if you think about the body is made up of cells, every cell requires energy. But in order for that energy to do what it's supposed to do, the micronutrients play a key role. Things like potassium and sodium all are part of what we are doing, or what is important to make the cells function, to make the body function. So these nutrients are key for the immune system. They are key for brain development. Really, every single organ in the body cannot function if we don't have sufficient of the micronutrients.
Okay. And how do I know if my body is lacking these micronutrients?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, but we often see that when we look at children. So just as a matter of interest, in South Africa, we really suffer from what we call the triple burden of disease, which is overweight, underweight, and micronutrient deficiencies. And the problem and in children, which we often see, is about a third of our children don't have enough vitamin A. Now, vitamin A, we know, is very important for eyesight, but it's also important for the immune system. It's important for so many functions in the body. And iron deficiency affects about 1 in 10 children. And iron deficiency is an interesting one because very often, especially in young children, it affects their brain development. So these kids might present in school being having some behavioral problems, and we put them on all sorts of medication. But meantime, these kids might actually just be iron deficient. So, and that's when we often see that. The same with zinc deficiency that affects about 45% of children in South Africa. So if you think about it, that's 1 in 2 children that probably does not have enough zinc, by example. And again, that affects the immune system directly. So zinc is a very important nutrient for the immune system. And if we don't have that, then obviously it's being easy. People that are easily falling ill, easily getting colds. It's winter time now. You know, if there's a breeze outside, you've got someone already coughing on the inside. And that often is related to not having enough of these micronutrients.
Now, how can then the caregivers and the parents make sure their families do not lack the micronutrients?
So this is what Nestlé for Healthier Kids is very excited about. We have this campaign that we call Add a Little More Goodness. And I really want to encourage the listeners today about adding a little more goodness in a very easy way.
Okay.
And that is to make sure that we have a variety of food. Variety implies color. And you will recall we spoke about the 7 colors, and then we said we only need 4 colors. But what is important is variety, to make sure there's a few colors on the plate at every meal. And we can do that by just adding a little bit of veggies, perhaps adding a fruit. And in that small step that we're taking, we are adding a little more goodness. So it's also easy. It doesn't have to be expensive. If we buy fruits and veggies that are in season, they are cheaper than the ones that is not in season. The street vendors have got very fresh fruits and veggies, and I really want to encourage the listeners to consider that. You know, we're supposed to have 5 fruits and vegetables a day. In South Africa, less than 67% of people is having that. If we don't count tomatoes and onion, which is normally in a sheshebu or in a gravy of some sort. So very important. And it's I really believe it's quite easy, and it's small steps to really just add those fruits and vegetables.
And Anna Marie, which are these best foods to eat so that we tackle the micronutrients deficiency?
So it's really all of them, hey? So if you say which fruits and veggies, it's really all of them. It's important we have the greens, we have the yellows, the whites are adding something simple that we can do. You know, the normal sweet potato. These days we get a yellow sweet potato. The yellow sweet potato has got more vitamin A in it than the white sweet potato. Just as an example. Some years ago we got the maize meal that was also richer in vitamin A than the white maize meal, by example. So it's important that we really look for the colors, because the more colors there are, the more micronutrients there are.
No, I hear you. Now, what are the risks of micronutrients deficiency? Can you just tell us?
Sure. Yeah, the risks are really, really significant. You know, especially in children when they don't have enough of these micronutrients and they are often sick, they don't attend school, they tend to perform poorer in school. It could be that they've got the behavioral problems and they don't even finish school. And there's quite a lot of research on that shows that kids with micronutrient deficiencies tend not to perform as well. The problem with that is that when they then need to go to university, they don't have the marks to get there. Sometimes they don't even finish matric. So all in all, it impacts on us, on families in the economies of scale, but also in the country's economy. And we talk about human capital development. So if we've got a lot of micronutrient deficiencies, we know that the human capital of a country is affected by that. And that's why it's so important that we address this issue of micronutrients as soon as possible and really try and prevent it at all costs for our kids.
Now, where can our caregivers and our parents get more info on how to do this right for our children as well as us, the adults?
I really want to encourage you to visit our website. It is www.n4hk-esar.com. To repeat it, it's www.n4hk-esar.com. We also have a Facebook page, and there you can look for Nestlé for Healthier Kids. And a lot of tips and tricks for caregivers and parents to help them to add this little more goodness.
So it's Nestlé for Healthier Kids on social media, on your Facebook.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
I think this will also help with your nursery schools, because our kids, from 8 in the morning up until 3 to 4, they are at your nursery school. So I think they should also listen. It will really help them also on how to do this right with the kids. Thank you so much for the info. I look forward to having you again next week. Can you hear me?
Good, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, my
Thank
darling.
you.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Then with Josie FM, as you've been seeing every Fridays, Sibanayage Anna Marie, Wayoge in Nestlé for Healthier Kids. Itubalil now signiga lona, whether you are a caregiver, you are a parent, you are running a nursery school crash. This is your chance so good now you can be able to phone in and ask him buzo yako. On Fridays, Jamaingena Anna Marie DBF from Nestlé for Healthy Kids. If you have any questions, please feel free to phone nawe concerning indaba zokuthi sinikeze ukudla okuright okunama nutrients are right for abantwana bethu, so that ke bakhule kahle kungabi bikho laba lekha khona in terms of ama vitamins and your ions and all that, so that umntwana akwazi ukuthi perform kahle esikolweni. So this show senzela lokho ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sifundisane nangendlela eziright ukuthi abantwana bethu sibanakekele, and just putting those veggies mawupheka, your veggies are important in your meals, so that abantwana bakwazi ukuthi bakhule ngendlela right, kungabi bikho laba zolekha khona enga end up umntwana ebaslow esikoleni kanti ulekha some certain ions or certain vitamins, yingakho umntwana sekaba nenkinga esikolweni, sekaba inkinga ekhaya. So this you need to ukuthi nawe be part of ngokuthi ufone ubuze imibuzo yakho so that now ukwazi ukuthi understand kabanzi ukuthi ke how do you take care of abantwana bakho, abazukulu bakho ekhaya. Ungabuza ngesiZulu just because Anna Maria ukhuluma ngesilungu akusho ukuthi ungekwazi, ungabuza ngesiZulu, ungabuza ngesisuthu, ngizomtshela ukuthi umbuzo uthini bese yakwazi ukuthi akuphendule. But ukubalekile ukuthi we understand on how to give ukudla oku right ebantwaneni bethu, especially kule foundation abakuyona bese sebancane kanjena, so that bakhule be healthy. And nathi singabazali and caregivers by eating right isibonele sihle kubona, so that babone ukuthi this is the way to go. Angithi kuye kuthiwe bona balingisa thina abakubona sikwenza nabo bayakwenza, so abalingisa into right. So meaning ukuthi ke we eat the fruits and veggies, balance our meals ngendlela right in a healthy way, nabo bazokwenza kanjalo. Ungathola umntwana ezokutshela ukuthi nakakuthanda ukudla okunama veg kanjani. It's because when we are not teaching it ukuthi this is the way from sebancane, we need to teach them ukuthi ukudla okudla kwamele kube nama veg at all times. It can be 3 to 4 per night. Make sure ukuthi it has veggies, ama fruits abantwana bebajwayele. I always sweets mommy, sweets. This is the way ukuthi sibafundise bese sebancane bathi ligosha lisesemanzi. So let's start now bese sebancane. And such a show with Anna Marie, it helps us ekutheni ke sikwazi ukwenza lokho. So na next week uzobe khona, you are welcome ukuthi ufone ubuze imibuzo yakho. Right, sizoba nayo i woman of power yethu yanamhlanje, Ayanda.